Now, moving on to all the story, Russia has ordered its forces to withdraw from the Ukrainian city of Kherson, the only regional capital seized by President Vladimir Putin since the war began, which could be a potential turning point in the war. This follows weeks of Ukrainian advances towards the city that signaled a potentially huge blow to Russia's military campaign in Ukraine. There is more in this report.
Russia had captured Kherson in its invasion of Ukraine in February, and the abandonment of a strategic region would be a significant setback for what Moscow termed as a special military operation in Ukraine. In televised comments, Russia's military top brass said it was no longer possible to supply Kherson city and proposed to take up defensive lines on the eastern bank of the Dnieper River. Commenting on Russia's announcement, Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolak in a tweet said, quote, "Actions speak louder than words. We see no signs that Russia is leaving Kherson without a fight," end quote. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has said Russia's abandonment from the key city of Kherson shows they have lost momentum, but they could still inflict a lot of damage on Ukraine. He also noted that the gains the Ukrainian army is making is encouraging, but continuous Western support is essential.
President Putin made several huge mistakes when he invaded Ukraine, strategic mistakes. One was to underestimate the Ukrainians, their courage, their commitment to fight and protect their own country. The other mistake he made was to underestimate NATO, allies, partners, in our ability to support Ukraine. And what we have seen is that NATO allies and partners have provided unprecedented support to Ukraine. And what we see when you look at the opinion polls, the political messages from different NATO allied countries is that we are ready to continue to provide support for as long as it takes.
Earlier on Wednesday, Russia announced its troops will withdraw from the west bank of the Dnieper River near the strategic southern Ukrainian city of Kherson. In the meantime, President Joe Biden has said Russia's decision to withdraw from the Ukrainian city of Kherson shows its military has some real problems. President Biden said he had been expecting the move for some time and that it would allow both sides to recalibrate their positions over the winter. The most senior U.S. general estimates that around 100,000 Russian and 100,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been injured or killed in the war in Ukraine. General Mark Milley also suggested that around 40,000 civilians had died after being caught up in the conflict. But he observed the signs Kiev was willing to re-enter talks with Moscow offered a window for negotiations. The top general, who serves as President Joe Biden's most senior military advisor, said the scale of the casualties could convince both Moscow and Kiev of the need to negotiate over the coming winter month when fighting may slow due to freezing conditions. In recent days, Ukraine has signaled a willingness to hold some discussions with Moscow after President Zelensky dropped a demand that President Vladimir Putin must be removed from power before negotiations could resume.